Hi, welcome back. Again, I'm Michael Redden, and this is Wealth Preservation TV. We're going to talk about another topic that helps you protect your assets, and that topic is equity stripping. We've talked before about everything from trusts to other strategies to your state law exemptions, and this is one of those things that kind of dovetails into that. Firstly, I will tell you that I tell all of my clients that if you are debt free, then any attorney who sues you is just going to love you. A lot of people may think about that, I don't want to have a lot of debt, or I don't want any debt at all. There are some very wealthy people who don't use leverage at all. But if you don't use leverage, you're a pretty soft target. Another one of the things you kind of want to look at for these things is if I have debt, then there's someone else besides me that my creditor, that lawsuit person, has to deal with. If I've got Bank of America with a line of credit or with a lien on that property, they can't take it unless they're willing to pay Bank of America completely off. And if we've got an attorney who sued you on a contingency where he only gets paid a third of what he gets in, is he going to want to then cough up after trial and everything else $100,000 or $200,000 to pay off Bank of America and then sit and wait for that thing to sell after he takes it? Probably not. And if the creditor tries to get in there anyway, Bank of America is going to fight back. Bank of America is going to come in there with their own lawyers and say, hey, we got first dibs on this. That's the kind of situation that you want to happen with your assets. So let's talk about a little bit of basic equity stripping kind of strategies, right? Let's assume that you have that vacation home, or well, let's go not with the vacation. Let's go with some rental property. Say you're one of those wonderful guys who has 7 rental properties. So you're outside of that FHA part. You can get loans, lines of credit, anything you kind of want on those things in their blanket. Well, you may have these in different LLCs, other structures. That's good for the kind of protection that you kind of want. But if a judgment is lost against those LLCs, then there could be some exposure, you'd think, right? Well, if you have them all lined up as a line of credit, there's different things that can go. One, you're going to have a lien on that property. You're going to have that cash flow to do those repairs. That stuff's there for when you need it. But additionally, when the lawsuit started, you could have taken out from that line of credit the retainer that you paid your attorney. That puts that lien up higher. That attorney is going to use that in litigation. If you settle, then you're going to get back what you didn't have. But it's also going to make those assets look a little bit harder. If your attorney during litigation can say, hey, yeah, there are assets here, but there's a $500,000 lien against them. Your client willing to pay that off? That gives you a little bit of leverage. And that can actually help get better settlement terms. So think about lines of credit and things. Think about assets you want to protect that have those low exemption amounts. Can you pledge those as collateral on some kind of loan? Can you take a loan out against them? Those are the kind of things that are really good for those kind of things. And with this as well, let's think about other ways that we can equity strip and kind of get these things turned over. Another good way to do this is never let the commercial real estate for your business be in the same entity as the actual operating business. If we separate those out, we've got a degree of separation that's there. We've stripped equity from that piece of real estate out of the doctor's office, the construction company, the consulting company. It's out of there. So when that thing gets sued, that's not at stake. Then inside that other company, we may have a lease back and things. That'll help you protect some of the cash flow that kind of goes through there, because there won't be as much in that bank account. It'll be over in the account with the real estate that you can use to pay things down. Those kind of things are really what you want to look for. And if there's a mortgage on that, then even if they sue through the company and get to you, they won't be able to go back the other way and do too much with it. Those are the kind of things that you're kind of looking with. So keep in mind equity stripping. If you've got so much equity in an asset that's exposed, One of the things you should consider is equity stripping and putting some kind of lien on it, pledging as collateral, stripping that equity out of one entity and putting it into another just by reorganizing. Those are some really simple steps that can make you a much harder target, and when combined with other strategies such as asset protection trusts and insurance protection, will make you a very hard target, and anyone who sues you won't be able to get much.